Hi everyone. So I wanted to do a makeup look that I saw on Pinterest. It was a blue and purple eye. I started today without any foundation or anything because I wanted to use the tape so that way I could do the eye makeup and then pull it off. The palette that I'm going to work from is by Morphe. This is their 35S palette. It's supposed to be their smoky eye palette, and it just has tons of different colors in it. So it has like a navy blue and some of the purples that I want to use. So anyway, I'm going to take these, don't have names or anything, but I'm going to take the white shade there and I'm going to put it all over my lid just so I have an even base to start with. I didn't use primer today just because it's later in the day and I'm not really doing anything, but typically if I'm going to want this to last all day, I will put an eye primer on. So because this has like dramatic colors, I'm not going to use the typical transition colors that I normally use. I'm going to start and I'm going to go in with this purpley pinkish color right there to put in my crease. This is one of their older palettes. The quality is not as good as some of their newer ones, but they still work pretty well. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to take that color and I'm going to just lay that here in the crease. And I have that taped down. So at the end we pull it all off and we have a straight line. I'm not going to do any winged eyeliner. That's why I like this type of look, because it gives you that cat eye winged effect without having to use eyeliner. So if you struggle with eyeliner, you can always just use this with your eyeshadow and you'll get a similar type of look. So I'm just going to brush this on just to get a little bit of that color. I'm going to do a little bit more because I want my eyeshadows to have like a gradient effect, and I want you to see this light purple poking out right at the top underneath all of my other shades that I'm going to use. These blend out pretty well. They don't have a lot of fallout, so I definitely recommend the Morphe palettes. They're rather inexpensive and they work really well. So now that I have that color placed down, I'm going to go in with a smaller blending brush. This is by Morphe as well. This is the M441. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with that darker purple. This one right here, it's pretty bright. I'm going to go in with that purple. And I'm going to put this in the crease, but I'm not going to go quite as high. Again, every time you go in with a new color, you want to keep it a little bit lower, and that helps things blend better and transition into each other when you start lighter and go darker. And like I said, these colors so far are blending really nicely, which is good. When you're using darker colors, you want something that's going to blend well. So now that I put that in, I'm going to go in one more time with purple, and this time I'm going to take this one right here, which is the darkest. I'm going to stick with this brush. I'm going to dip into that. Now I'm going to start putting this into my crease before I put that navy blue down. I'm going to build this up a little bit because I want it a little darker. I'm going to go in with my next smaller blending brush. This is a Morphe as well. This is the M433. I'm going to dip into the same purple I've been using, and I'm going to mix a little bit of it with this one to help darken it up a little bit. And again, I'm just keeping this in my low crease here, and the tape again is going to help at the end when we pull it off to give it that winged look. Now before I put the lid on that blue color, I'm going to stick with this same exact brush, and I'm going to put some of it in the crease first. It's just going to help when I put it on the lid for it to blend into my crease. So I actually want to use this navy blue color right here. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to put that on this brush. Oh, actually, I think I want a smaller blending brush. I'm going to go in with this brush. It's actually the brush that comes in the Anastasia palettes. So I'm going to dip into this blue. Again, these colors have like no fallout. You can see like when I dip into it. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put some of this into my crease here. Because if you lay it down in your crease first, it's going to be easier to blend into the lid. And I recommend putting the colors, same with a smoky eye if you're using blacks, I recommend taking your black and putting it into the crease first and then doing your lid color, because if you put the lid on and then try and blend it into the crease, you can sometimes blend away the lid color, then you just have to go in and reapply. So I find it easier to get your crease completely done, and then you can go in with the blue and just match it up with it. So I'm going to go on to the other side. Same thing, I'm just laying it down in the crease and I'm staying in the eye socket. I'm not going up any higher, I'm just keeping the brush in that natural crease. It's easy to follow. Now this is a super colorful, dramatic look, and I happened to see this on Pinterest and I liked it, so I just wanted to show you guys. If you're not into such bold colors, any look that I ever do on here, you can take the same exact technique, just use different colors. And most eye looks are just blending. You can pretty much do anything you want. You just want to take your time and make sure colors blend into each other and that you're just blending everything so you don't have harsh lines. But if you're not into super colorful stuff, you could be doing this with browns, neutrals maybe. So once I get it into the crease, I'm going to go back in with my fluffy brush I was using to begin with. I'm just going over the top. And I'm going to go back in with that purple just to lay it down over the top of this blue also, just to help them blend together. So now I'm going to go back in with that initial purpley color. I'm going to dip into that on this fluffy brush, and I'm just kind of going over where that blue was, so that can blend in a little bit with this color. I know some people are scared to use super colorful looks like this, but you just have to try it, and you would be pleasantly surprised. I like using purples on my eyes. It makes them look more green. So now I've got this, again, I'm just making sure everything is super blended. If you think you took colors too high, you can always go back in with, when I used this brush to begin with and I dusted this white color, you can always go back into the white, kind of put it under your eyebrow and blend on top if you think you went too high with colors. And again, this is why I like doing eye makeup when I'm at home before I do my foundation, because if you want to wipe something away, you can do that easily when you don't have your foundation and concealer done. So I'm just taking that white and running it under here because I want to make sure I didn't bring those colors too high. Alright, so now that the lid is done, I'm going to take that same navy blue that I've been using, and I'm going to now put this all over my lid. I'm just going to use a flat shader brush. I'm just going to dip into it, and we're just going to put this all over our lid. This eye is watering a little bit, so hopefully my tape doesn't come off, but I'm just taking it, and I'm making sure I get it all in the inner corner here, and then up to the crease. Once we start putting our foundation on and take this tape off, it all looks a lot more blended. But when you start with your eyeshadow and you don't have anything else on, it does. It looks crazy. So you guys might be looking right now thinking I look super duper crazy. But once we take this off and we start putting foundation on and making the foundation and complexion look better, the eye look's going to look a lot better and not as crazy since this is the only thing we have on. Do I have any blue sparkles? I don't think I do. Now, I'm going to keep this look completely matte, but if you wanted, I don't have any blue sparkly stuff on hand, but if you wanted to make it not matte, you could add something to it also. So now what I want to do is I just want to, again, make sure all of that is blended. So I'm going to take this brush again with no extra product, and I'm just going right in this area Just want to make sure this is all blended, and I'm probably going to go in with that pinky purple one more time because sometimes in the blending process you can kind of lose that initial color a little bit. So I like to kind of just make sure this is blended, and then I'll go in again. I'm going to go in with this brush here, and I'm going to dip into those initial purples that I used, and I'm just going to lay it on top again right over that blue so we have that initial pinky purple color. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this for now. Let me just put my hair up. Alright, I'm going to take the tape off, and we'll come back to the eyes, but we just wanted to put down that basic color. You can see how we now have that super straight line. You can see I got some color here and here. So I'm just going to take the cloth that I'm using, just wipe some of that away before we do our foundation. Then I'm going to take it and wipe right here because I want to make sure I didn't go up. I don't want to go past my brow, so I kind of just like to wipe any off that might be sitting there. Okay, so now we're going to leave the eyes how they are for now. My face is really red right now. But today, I'm really pale right now, and none of my foundations seem to want to match because I'm super duper pale. But this one is still a good match for me. It's the NARS foundation. This is their All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. If you have dry skin, I would recommend this. It's a really good coverage foundation. And it's full coverage. But I have typically normal skin, except my chin is the only oily spot I have, and even though this is nice full coverage, it breaks up on my chin, which drives me crazy, because this is a high-end foundation, and most of my foundations, even some of my drugstore foundations, don't do that. So, like I said, if you have dry to normal skin, you would probably like this foundation, but if you have oily skin, I don't think you would like it. And if you happen to have this foundation and you like it, that's fine too. Everybody's skin type is different. So just because I might not like something doesn't mean, you know, you're going to have the same experience. I typically use a sponge when I put my makeup on. I just like it. I don't ever have to worry about any brush strokes. And for the most part, it always blends it in. My Hourglass Stick Foundation, that's a really thick one. And I use a brush for that just because of the consistency. But I typically use sponges. So, make sure you always brush it down your neck so that way it's matching. Okay, so I have the coverage that I want. Like I said, I'm not doing anything crazy today, so I don't really need any crazy coverage or anything like that. My eyes look super dark because I don't like putting my foundation on under my eyes. I just feel like less products is better under your eyes, especially if you have wrinkles or the skin is dry there. It just looks a little bit better. Less stuff to cake up and get in your wrinkles. This, by the way, is NARS as well. I do happen to like this. This is their Radiant Creamy Concealer. This will last all day on me. So I'm going to take this. Make sure I'm covering my dark circles. I'll put a little here to add some highlight to the face. I'm going to take my sponge and blend this in. I recommend adding highlighter to those portions of your face so that way you don't have just a highlighted under eye and the rest of your face isn't highlighted. It just helps add a little bit of extra dimension. Unfortunately on this camera the quality is not that great, so you don't really see things as good as I do. Oopsie! Here we are! Alright, we're good. We're falling off here. Alright, so I'm going to take the flat end of this sponge and I'm just going to pounce this concealer into the skin here. I'll make sure you get up by your lash line. Make sure you bring it down so it's blended as well. since I already have the sharp line, I just want to bring the concealer up so you don't see a notice in skin color, but I don't want to mess up the line, obviously, so you're going to try and get it as close as you can and then blend up here because you don't want a concealer line there. Okay. All right. Well, we got that blended in. I'm going to do this side here. Same thing, just blending it in. Okay. Now that I have the concealer blended in, I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier powder. I'm just going to go in with, this is an e.l.f. Brush. I'm going to dip it into that powder. Just making sure my under eye is all set. I like to set my under eye as soon as I put the concealer on. I feel like mine creases easily, so I like to do that really quickly to prevent it going into the lines. And then I'm just going to use a bigger powder brush, and I'm going to make sure I powder the rest of my face. I take a lot and put it on my chin since I know that's going to be the oily area. I always recommend setting your foundation. It's going to help it stay in place. And it's going to help the other products such as bronzing or anything you use for contouring or blush to blend better into the skin as well. Alright, so I have that set. I want to just finish off the eyes quick so we're not looking as crazy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my Makeup Forever pencil. I'm going to do my waterline with that. I really like this. This was actually a sample and I haven't even had to buy one yet. I haven't even sharpened it yet. So this is definitely going to last a while and it was a sample. So I kind of want that purple color underneath just because there's a lot of blue on the lid and I don't want my eyes to be closed off or look smaller than what they are. So I'm going to go back into that palette. And instead of the blue, I want to go in with the purple. So I'm going to take some purple on a brush like this. I'm going to put it under my lash line. I'm going to have it meet up with that blue. And this is the brush I use for the lid. So there's a little bit of blue on it already left over, so it might blend in a little bit with the purple. So we're just going to blend that under the eye. Now, I will do my eyebrows really quick. I haven't been penciling them on recently just because I feel like my eyebrows are pretty full already. So I'm just going to use the Maybelline Brow Precise. You can use this. It has fibers in it and it has color as well. So if you do have spots that you think you need to fill in, you can just take this brush and you just put it exactly where you want it. It helps them stay in place and it'll help add a little bit of volume. I like this because I feel like it adds a little bit of volume, but it's still keeping my eyebrows looking natural. I don't want you looking at me, you know, having it extremely noticeable that I drew on eyebrows, so that's why I like this. I feel like it keeps it looking natural. Considering we're doing really dramatic eye makeup, I like to keep my eyebrows looking natural. So again, I brush it in the front first because that's where my eyebrows are the most sparse. And then I'll kind of just bring it through the rest, put it how I want it, and then I brush it through the tail end here. If I'm going to be going out somewhere where I know pictures are going to be taken and whatnot, then I will go in and fill in my brows a little bit, but for every day, I typically don't do that. So that's all I'm going to do with my eyebrows. I'm going to put some mascara on now. This is a mascara I've really been liking. I got it as a sample because I do have the Birchbox. This is by IT Cosmetics, their Superhero Mascara. I really like this. So I'm going to put this on as well. Once we put bronzer on and stuff, my face isn't going to look so flat and strange because all the action is going on in my eyes and the rest of my face looks a little crazy. So I'm going to take this mascara. I really like it. I feel like it adds a lot of definition. I would probably buy this one, actually. I'll do one eye and show you guys the difference. I like to do a few coats. So let me go in with a second coat. And I'm probably not going to do false lashes today, so I really like this mascara. So this was 2 coats. You guys can see the difference, how much volume this adds. So I'm going to do the other side quickly. Yeah, my bottom lashes are long. It's crazy. That's why I try not to go. I'll put 1 coat on them and that's it. Because even with good mascara and concealer, sometimes throughout the day, if I don't use a good one, it'll start looking like I have makeup running down there just because my lashes are so long, they end up hitting my under eye and then some of it rubs off. But like I said, I think this is only my like 3rd time using this and I really like it. I'm definitely always on the hunt for new products. And I love when you get a good one because I used a different one the other day, the Lancome one that was a sample, and I thought I liked that, and then I used this and I was like, whoa, this one's amazing. I mean, I have pretty decent long lashes. But seriously, look at the volume. So I probably won't do falsies. For the hell of it, I'm going to do one more quick dip. Add a smidge more. I'll do this side again. So anyway, yeah, I think this makes your eyelashes look pretty damn good. All right. So quickly, so we can finish off the eyes. I'm going to just use the highlighter that I'm going to use. This is the Wet n Wild highlighter in, I don't know, what is this? Oh, Precious Petals. It's like a pinky one. I'm going to use this to highlight my brow bone in my inner corner. So let me do that. I'm going to take the other end of that Anastasia brush. I'm going to dip into this, and I'm going to put a little bit up here as my brow bone highlight. Then I'm going to put it in my inner corner as well. You can see how you can see it in there. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to do for the eyes for now. So now I'm going to start bronzing up my face a little bit. I've been using that Anastasia palette a lot of times when you guys watch, so today I'm going to try and use something different. I'm going to go in this palette. This was by Nikkie Tutorials and Too Faced. I like this palette. It has eyeshadows in it, 2 blushes, a highlighter, and a bronzer. They have this sold separately full size. It's their Chocolate Soleil bronzer. It smells like chocolate. And I think it's a really nice color. It's not too cool toned, it's not too warm. You can use it as a contour or as a bronzer. So I'm going to use, this is actually an e.l.f. brush, their blush brush, but I like how it's like tapered. So I will use that to contour. So I'm going to dip into this. I'm going to start bronzing slash contouring my face. So I'm going to start adding some definition to our face and not making it look as flat. This blends out really nicely. I always take it and put it under my chin as well. This helps disguise your double chin. Then I'm going to take a little bit and put it up by my forehead just to even out the color. I don't go a lot with this because I have a small forehead. If you have a big forehead, you're going to want to contour more because it'll help make your forehead look smaller, but I don't really feel the need to do that. Once I do that, I like to go in with a little bit more. I like my contour to be noticeable. I know some people like more natural ones, but as you can tell, we're not going for natural today. Plus, I feel like when I'm on this thing, you guys don't see the colors as good either. Once I lay it down, then I go in and kind of blend it more. If I'm not going for a precise nose contour, I typically just pinch this, dip it in there, and run it on my nose just so I can add some color again so things are matching. I don't want bronzer just here, nowhere else on my face. So I just add some to the sides just so I again have some bronzer there. Since we have this pinkish purpley blue going on, I'm actually going to go in with this pink blush in Nair palette. Oh, let's see, this is just an e.l.f. brush. I'm going to dip into this pink. I'm going to start adding that to my cheeks. You have to be careful. That's one thing I hate about this palette is they have the blushes right next to these super dark colors, and one time I was using it and I went in and then I noticed I had eyeshadow all over my face. So when you're using a big brush, you literally have to like kind of like tap it in on the side so you don't get it in the color. I like to put my blush on the apple of my cheeks and then I like to bring it back. Since that contour is going all the way back, I don't want to put blush just here and then, you know what I mean? So if you put it there and then blend it back, I feel like it all blends together a lot nicer. I like blush. I feel like it definitely adds color back into the face. So that's all we're going to do with that. Now I'm going to go back in with that highlighter that I used to highlight my inner corners. And I'm going to highlight my face with the same exact one. I'm going to take this brush. This is a Sephora brush. It's actually just a mineral powder brush, but I like how it's compact because I like to make sure my highlighter is getting on there. I don't like fan brushes. I like super dramatic highlights, so I just go in with a brush like this where I know the color is getting applied. I always want to put highlighter on your Cupid's bow, tip of your nose. Again, we're just evening things out. You don't want highlighter on one spot of your face. I feel like when you put it on the other areas, it meshes better. I sometimes like to put highlighter on my chin, but not with this foundation, just because it's so luminous, and that's the one that starts to get oily on me. So that's pretty much the eye look. So now I guess we'll put some lip color on. Where's that super bright one I used the other day? One moment. Okay. So in my Birchbox, I had a sample. Look at this crazy color. I feel like it would look match. I mean, well, I feel like I'm going to go in the 70s. Oh, Ariel got me the Birchbox for Christmas, by the way. So anyway, we could go with this super crazy lip. What do you think?
Crazy.
Just go crazy?
Crazy.
Let's just go crazy. That's Ariel, by the way. Alright, guys, let me put the lipstick on. Bear with me because I need to be close so I can get even. Oh, this is Kat Von D, by the way. I love when I get name brand samples in the Birchbox. I can't stand when I get some crappy brand I've never heard of, but this is a really good brand. This is going to last you a while because this is not an everyday color. Which color is this? Oh my god, it's so small. It's our Everlasting lipstick. K-Dub. That's the color, K-Dub. Alright! Okay, some colors make your teeth look yellow. It depends what they are, but hopefully this one doesn't. Alright, this is what it looks like. Let's see how crazy it is. Ooh, hello! Alright, we're gonna put it on anyway. I probably would not wear this to work. Yeah, I'm thinking that looks way too crazy. Yeah, that is a no, for sure. That color would probably look great with like some eyelashes. Yeah, maybe. I don't like, this is definitely a cool toned color. I like cool tones on my eyes, but pinks on my lips, I just do not like at all. Ugh. So anyway, guys, it's a beautiful color, but not for me. And now our lips are stained pink, but that's alright. At least we know they're, you know, work good and they're pigmented. Alright, so now our lips just look flushed, but I'm going to attempt to go over it with my Anastasia liquid lipstick. This is in the color Stripped. I'm typically mostly someone who goes for nude colors. So, let's see if this will cover up the pink. And let me just put that on. Yeah, it looks like it is. Alright. I'm going to put it on the top. Oh my god, a whole chunk came out. Yeah, if you do a super dramatic look, I feel like a nude is always a safe choice. It'll go with anything. Okay. Making sure they're even. Okay. Now, okay. So we have this nudish color on. Since my eyes are matte, I kind of want to add something. Maybe I'll see how this looks. This is my Jouer lip gloss. Well, they're lip toppers. You're supposed to be able to put them over different stuff. It's supposed to be like their gold shiny one. Just want to let this dry a little bit. These dry pretty quick. So my lips are kind of dry, so I might want to exfoliate because it's kind of showing all of that. Anyway, this is super shiny. Ooh. Just gonna kind of put it in the center and let it spread out. So anyway, I feel like that adds a little bit of shine. Okay, so anyway, that's that. This is the crazy look that I came up with. So tell me what you guys think. These lashes I was going to put on, but I don't really feel like it. These are Ardell's. I really like these ones. They were dramatic, but I like how they're kind of like spiky and there's those spaces in between. So anyway, my next look, I'll probably put these ones back on. I'll show you guys quick. Well, it's hard to see, but I really like these ones. But we'll save them for another day. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think, and make sure you like my video. Go on my YouTube channel, Bobbi Ray Beauty. When you type it in the search, don't put spaces in it. Just type it just like that. Go on my channel, because I'll probably upload that on there as well. And make sure you subscribe. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.